What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to My Social Life. This is the podcast where we teach you how to grow on social media by talking to the people that have actually done it. My guest today is Jason Estefanous. You can find him on Instagram at Jason Estefanous, and he's currently sitting at over 10.4 thousand followers. And Jason does a lot. He does some event planning. He does some personal styling. He does some social media management in the government. He does a lot of different things, guys. And in our conversation today, we're going to talk about the importance of your network. A thing that Jason, you're going to hear him say in this interview is your network is your net worth, and is a very important part of this interview, and we come back to it multiple times throughout our hour conversation, so I really want you to pay attention when that gets brought up. We're also going to talk about how he landed his first brand deal as an Instagrammer when he only had around 2,000 followers, and it was with a reputable, good company. It wasn't just some random company no one's ever heard of. It was with a good company, and how he was proactive in acquiring them as a partner, as a collaborator, and how he gets free product all the time from them. We're also going to talk about how he's the personal stylist for Elijah Woods and Jamie Fine. If you guys don't know who they are, they're an up-and-coming Canadian artist duo. You'll know them. Their big hit was Ain't Easy. They also have songs like Better Off, Catch and Feels. Like I said, they're up-and-coming. They're winning some awards, and he's their personal stylist, and that's pretty cool. And we're also going to talk about how you have to be you on social media, why you shouldn't be fake, follow as many people as you want to follow, just be yourself. And we're also going to talk about how Jason almost feels like he's boxed himself in creatively with only a certain kind of content on his Instagram, and potentially starting over in 2019 with the whole new feed, keeping his account, obviously not deleting it, but starting from scratch, removing all his photos and just starting again. So I'm really excited for you guys to hear this one. Now let's get to my conversation with Jason Estefanous. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to My Social Life. This is the podcast where we teach you how to grow on social media by talking to the people that have actually done it. My guest today is Jason, and I want to get your last name right.
Estefanous.
Estefanous?
Yeah.
Awesome. And you do a lot of different things.
Yeah, too many.
So you're a personal stylist, brand ambassador, social media coordinator, event planner, promoter, bartender. And you said you're going to school and kind of wrapping things up there.
Yeah, man, I'm wrapping it up at Carleton University. So we're just finishing my communications and media studies degree. But in the meantime, like while going to school full time, I just worked full time and just kept all my opportunities like in line, just because like I didn't want to miss out on something. I was like really tired most of the time, but I think it was worth it at the end.
Yeah. Is there anything else I kind of missed there that you want to tell people about yourself?
No, man, that's pretty much it. I work a lot. Networking is a big part of my life. I pride myself in it, kind of thing, and I believe that you're only as valuable as your network. Your network is your net worth, kind of thing. But yeah, if you want, I can like dive in or like to whatever.
Yeah,
you want.
we can totally unpack kind of the bio a little bit because there's a lot in there.
Yeah.
So let's start with personal stylist.
Yeah. So I started off at Nordstrom at Rideau Center. I was there for about 2 years, and I branded myself there as a personal stylist. I was in the like men's shoes department. That was my home base. But every time I met someone and they liked my style, they liked my fashion sense. And so it was like kind of our job to build our business, and so that's what we did. And so I told him, hey, like I'm a personal stylist, I can help you out all over the store. So we would just go and pick out different things, and it led to me meeting two very, very talented artists, Jamie Fine and Elijah Woods. They're really big right now. They're amazing people, super talented. And I met them right before they went to go shoot the launch, CTV's The Launch. And they were like, yo, like we just had a really great connection, like very good chemistry just working with them. I didn't expect anything out of it. Like they went to go shoot. I was on my Facebook, and it was like, what? Like winners of CTV's The Launch, Jamie Fine, Elijah Woods, was like, whoa, I know them, like, you know?
Yeah.
So we kept in touch, and they were like, hey, JJ, like, you know, we actually really like would love to work with you and stuff like that. And it just kind of rolled down from there. But yeah, that's the whole personal stylist gig. And now I do it for them, just as like a hobby, and like they've become my friends too. So it makes things even easier. But yeah.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask you at some point during this how you knew them, because I think it was even today you posted.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. That's how.
Yeah.
They're honestly some of the most humble, most easygoing people out there, and they love what they do, and they're good at it. So it's great for them to receive the rewards that they've received, and and I just, wherever I can, I give them some shout outs, but I don't think they really need it. But it's just kind of like to show my support, and it's not just styling, it's also like support, like, you know, as a friend as well.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Just to echo like that, they're very humble. I met them at work once because they did their like the halftime show for the Red Blacks.
Yeah.
So I met Jamie. I didn't meet Elijah too much. Like, we were supposed to like hook him up with merch and everything in the store. Yeah. And Jamie just happened to kind of stroll up way before anyone else. So I was just kind of talking to her from. It's just so nice.
Just
like,
amazing person. It's literally life of the party.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah, just great people. So that's pretty much all you do for in terms of personal stylist now, is just those two? Yeah,
I've kept it limited to that. A lot of people just ask me like, hey JJ, like, can we go, but it's like people call me JJ here.
Yeah.
Yeah, they like, people know that I do it, and so they'll ask me like here and there, like, hey, like, can we go shopping together or like do that and just help me pick out some things? I'm like, yeah, of course, like I'll do it just for fun, just for my friends or whatever. But if another opportunity comes up, like, sure, like, we'll do it. Like, it's fun. I enjoy it.
Yeah, you know? That's fair.
Yeah.
Social media.
Social media, yeah. So I do social media currently for the government of Canada. ISED, Innovation, Science, and Economic Development. It's standard, like it's what you would expect. I manage their 3 other social media accounts for innovation. I created an Instagram account for them from scratch. It seems to be growing pretty well, and we can touch on that later on about why and how it works. But yeah, we go to events, we live stream, we do all the fun stuff on that end, and I do social media for a new face mask company as well. It's called O-Morphology, and it's like just a brand new brand that's coming out, and it's a different take on face masks. It's like dry face masks that you actually get more like active ingredients and stuff like that. So just like 2 more social media gigs, and I help my fraternity's social media page as well. Kappa Sigma at Carleton University, so we do that as well. We have a great page as well, good engagement, and so good stuff there.
That's awesome. So how did you kind of land the job with the government? Was that through school, or?
The government was actually through networking. I actually met one of the directors, and we just got to talking, became friends, and then he got me into an interview with the other director, and thank God she liked me, and she liked that I had some different ideas that didn't fit the government mold. So it was something fresh, something different, and I think that's what their team needed, or their department needed, sorry, is what she kind of told me. And so it was a real privilege and an honor to be presented an opportunity like that in such an easy way. But again, it goes back to networking and just really keeping that line of communication open between people.
Yeah. So I kind of want to touch on networking a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I feel like networking, like you said, it's a big thing. Like,
it's huge.
Do you have any tips for people to networking?
Absolutely, man. The biggest thing I can say is, even if it's just a comment on a picture or like you see a story from a person, it's like you're keeping the line of communication open, so it never really closes. So it's kind of like when you ever ask for something, or you'll constantly be in their mind, and it won't be such an abrupt like, oh, they're just messaging me because they need something. It's like you're in their mind because you're literally they see that you're keeping up with their lives, kind of thing. So it's not a wild thing when you say, hey, like, do you know of any openings or anything like that? So it's just an easy segue there. Taking the effort, I think, to really go out to support. A lot of people in Ottawa, especially, they have events left and right and center, and when you go and support these people, it really shows it speaks to your character, and people will remember that. If you're always supporting them, they're going to support you, and that's just the way it goes. So those would be my biggest things: put in the effort, and always keep a line of communication open, even if it's just with a comment, or a like, or a simple text like, hey, hope you're doing well. I saw that you did this. How was it? Following up.
Yeah.
Follow through.
That's like, see, now I wasn't even thinking digital networking, but that's just so smart, especially today. Yeah. Like, I didn't even think about that at all. That's awesome.
We're in a digital age, man.
Yeah, definitely. And one thing that you did talk about there, you said going to people's events.
Yeah.
And you also do some event planning yourself, right?
I do.
Yeah. So what kind of events are we talking about?
So it kind of started with my birthday party last year. I wanted to throw an all-white party, and I guess they haven't seen that here in a while. So one of the owners of the bar was like, yo, that was so much fun. The staff loved the crowd, the people, the vibe, and it took off from there. He asked me like, hey, like, do you want to bartend? Do you want to come up with parties? And I was like, yeah, I mean, sure. I mean, I love to throw a good party. It's just a matter of coming up. So what I do now is I come up with themes for cool party nights at events and different clubs. I also do event coordinating for Relay for Life at Carleton University. And I feel like I do other stuff, but it's not coming to me right now. But yeah, it's all about coming up with really cool themes. And really, we live in a time now where people want to document every single thing, and they live for events because that's what they want to post on their stories and their Instagrams and their Facebooks and their Twitters. So it's about creating something that you can document and that people will want to be. And sometimes picking things that you would never think of doing, but that could be so simple. For example, I planned a leather versus lace party. This party was catered to the ladies. The ladies love to get dressed and love to look sexy. So if you give them a theme where they can do that, and it's not even Halloween kind of thing, and the guys, you just say, hey guys, just wear all black and you'll be good. Super easy for the guys. Girls get excited. Everybody comes out. It's a great event, thank God. Mm-hmm. So that's just like one thing. Another party I did was Nike versus Adidas. Two very hype brands right now. Everybody has an article of clothing from either or. So to really just pick a side and go and come party in your gym clothes or like something like that was another appeal. So it's just really about creating a good, memorable time. And I thank God I have some amazing friends and family that come and support, and it's just helped me build that reputation, I guess, here in Ottawa.
Yeah, that's awesome. And just to make sure, an all-white party, you mean like clothes, right?
Clothes, yeah.
I just want to make sure people know.
All inclusive for sure. Like definitely.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then so you got your bartending gig kind of through
that, exactly. Yeah. And so the owners, they own like a few bars, and like it just became a really good relationship with them. And so they were like, hey, like why not make some money, like bartend, do events and just do both for like, and if you have extra time. And for a while it was like getting like I was doing it maybe twice a week bartending. I've taken a step back from it now just because I was finishing up school and whatnot. I might get back into it, but planning events here and there, like making new traditions, if you will, like kind of thing. So it's fun. So
when you're doing those events, do you kind of do them different locations around the city or typically the same spot?
Typically, like I run between like 2-3 spots. The show, Room 104, and Waverly is another venue that we could use, and then we work with other promoters in the city as well, like Junction and Season, like Red Lion and all that place. So it's a huge network. That right there is a network, right? The whole nightlife scene, everybody knows each other, and it's all about really like again supporting everybody when they have their events. Like my friends just they created a brand called an organization or company called Mixer, where they also throw type of events as well. But it's to promote their cocktails. So it's stuff like that and just showing support, and they're gonna support you in the end.
Yeah. So what typically makes, like when you're going into planning an event, what makes you go like, that's gonna be the thing that people are gonna want to share? Is it the outfits, like the Nike versus Adidas and stuff like that? Or?
Yeah, that it all comes down to the theme, I guess. The theme is very, very important because I mean there's so many venues around. It's about picking the right topic or the right trend for people to kind of relate to, and it's gotten to the point where some people are just buying things for these parties, which wasn't my intention, but you get excited. You build this excitement for an event, and you have a photographer there who takes pictures because people want to post. So when you give them basically everything they want and then some, in terms of themes, it's sometimes like it could be the easiest thing to put together, or it could be something like leather and versus lace. Like I don't think anybody would have thought of that, to do that together. But yeah, just fun things like that.
That's awesome. And then so you also do some brand ambassador work as well? Yeah.
So I worked with Members Only, the jacket company, and then like as an influencer, I guess like you get DMs like, hey, like would you be okay like posting a picture with this or that? We'll send you the product. And we've basically become living ads at this point. But hey, it's free gear. Why not? I've worked with Members Only the longest. I think it's for like 2-3 years now. And they send me like 5-4 jackets and you just take a picture with them. But they've been around for so long, and it was an honor because like their jackets are so dope, and everybody always asks me, hey, where'd you get that jacket? Where'd you get that jacket? So it's just really cool to be able to, it's a privilege like to get free gear, like $100 jackets, just like handed to you like that. You know what I mean? So,
yeah. So they just reached out to you kind of out of the blue one day, or how'd that come about?
it's funny. I actually reached out to them, and I was a big fan of their jackets, and my friend had actually worked with them, and I was like, oh, like I wonder if I could. So I just reached out to them. I said, hey, like I'm a really, really big fan of your jackets. Like, would you guys like to collaborate? And I think at that time I only had like 2,000 followers, so they kind of were like, yeah, like your page looks a certain way. Like you're the type of person that we want to wear our jackets. So I was like, hey, that's awesome. And then my following grew, which was even better. And I think it was better for them too. But yeah.
Yeah. So the kind of your setup there is they just send you jackets every once in a while, and
with like for their new seasons and whatnot, I kind of just check in and be like, hey, like, do you guys still want to collaborate for the next season? They're like, yeah, of course. Like, here you go. Like, we'll send them to you. Just pick the ones you want.
Yeah.
So I was like, wow, it's really, really cool.
That's pretty sweet. I think a lot of people, not a lot, but some people think that they just have to sit back and wait for brands to come to them. But I think it's like a good thing, like an important thing to note that you made the first message, like you kind of reached out to them first. Which
Absolutely. Like, don't be afraid. Like, what's the worst they can do? Say no. You don't even know them. So like, you literally can just reach out and be like, hey, like I love your stuff. Like, would you guys like to collaborate? Like, a lot more companies are down than people think. You know, and I'd say maybe 30% of the brand ambassadorships or the brand sponsorships that I've done, I reached out to them myself.
So you've done some other ones as well then?
Yeah, I did like a phone case company. I did, it was I Love Sweden, I believe, or something, or I Sweden, I think. There was also headphones. I got wireless headphones that were really, really cool, and they reached out to me as well. And I was like, wow, like that's really, and they actually worked really, really well. But my ass lost them because they fell off. But yeah, so there's always fun and cool things you can see, and like there's a lot of brands that people don't know about that if you see their stuff and you're like, hey, like that looks cool, like why, let's try it. And like just like you pitch it as like, hey, like it's an exchange for like publicity and advertising. Just for one free product or whatever. So.
Yeah, it's cool. And then I think another one you've done with that I saw kind of creep into your profile was, it's like, I'm not 100% sure on the name. It's like Atelier or Coin or something like that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So I met Cameron or Cam, and he is a designer in Ottawa, and he makes his own clothes from scratch, gets fabric, and just puts amazing pieces together. And yeah, so his IG account is Atelier Coin, and we actually just did a fashion show for Relay for Life, like a fundraiser, and he was one of the fashion brands that we decided to highlight. Yeah, really, really cool guy. He made my shirt for my birthday last year, like, 'cause it was a white like layered piece, and he's doing big things, man. Like, the guy is very, very talented, and yeah, he's just really, really talented. That's all I can say. Check him out. Like, I'm sure he would love to create like some cool pieces.
Yeah, that's awesome. So is it all like designer and custom stuff? Or,
yeah, all custom stuff. His own designs. He takes the trick is he takes like fabric that you wouldn't think people would use, and creates like amazing shirts and hoodies and women's clothes, jackets, joggers, like the works. Extremely talented.
Yeah. That's awesome. Have you ever been paid for any of your posts or anything, or has it all been like exchange for product and stuff?
Most of them have been like exchange for products, but one person actually paid me for just promotion on my Instagram story, because a big thing now is stories, and I find that I actually post more stories now than I do posts, and that was pretty cool. I made like a quick $1 on that, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's sweet. Is there ever any contracts or anything, or is it just like we'll transfer you some money if you make the post, or I've never done it, so I don't know how it works.
Typically when it's more of a low key thing, like it's just an easy transfer, something like that. But I haven't, to be honest, I haven't really seen a contract in any of my like promotions or anything like that.
Yeah. That's fair. Now I kind of want to transition a little bit more to Instagram.
Sure.
So before we kind of dive into yours, I do want to jump back into what account you made for the government you were talking about there.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's called, I can actually pull it up here. It's called CDN Innovation, and there's 2 accounts that we actually have to do.
Okay.
You have to do an English and a French one, but as you can see, we started this account in about July, and it now has 704 organic followers. And so as you can see, it kind of has like a certain look and feel to it. It doesn't look like a typical governmental profile. So that was my biggest thing when I proposed it was, hey, I want to do something different with this. I want to make this my baby, and I want to depict what innovation looks like to me, kind of thing. And we highlight like everything happening innovation within Canada that the government helps and funds. But yeah, it's a long process to actually build a following, especially today, because I feel like so many people are trying to do the very exact same thing. How do you stand out without copying someone or whatever? And so it's to do it all organically. Like I know some businesses will buy followers or whatever, and but another way that you can actually do that is boost your posts in terms of just creating, like you boost it so like more people see it, and then it's up to them if they like it or not or follow and whatnot.
Have you ever boosted posts or ran any ads and stuff for that account?
For this account, I did it once. Yes, we were trying to help or promote a digital consultation, so we boosted it through Facebook, and the Facebook actually created a Instagram post. So it was kind of like two birds, one stone. We did it through Facebook, and then gave us an Instagram post. It doesn't show up on your actual profile, which is interesting, but it does link to it, which is cool. Yeah,
that's fair. And now I kind of want to transition more to your
my
Instagram.
Own personal, yeah. I wish I could have boosted it and stuff like that, but that took my own personal Instagram account took me a while. There was a point where I deleted all my pictures and started fresh because there were so many, I guess you could say, careless photos taken. Like I'm not too big on the kind of the camera to the mirror kind of photo. That would be more for like a story for my personal page. But now that I've done that, I've set myself up where if my picture doesn't look a certain way, I won't post it. And that's why I post less now, is because I've limited myself. So it's like a two-edged sword. It's like either I can post more and be more frequent with my followers, or I can give them, I guess, the quality they're expecting, kind of thing.
So I think, and right now you're sitting at
10.4 ish.
Okay.
Just hit 4 a little while ago, but yeah.
Yeah. So kind of how would you describe your Instagram? Because you said you kind of limit yourself now with specific kinds of pictures. So
yeah, if you look at it, like my personal page is a lot of me with a nice background or a fun moment, and a lot of the times I'm wearing like something like that describes my style, and I think that's the reason why people follow me, is because of my style. And the thing is, like, there's so many brands and there's so many people that have such amazing styles, and so I'll be honest, like I get a lot of my inspiration from other different accounts, but I'm kind of known for having a lot of really hot girlfriends, and so I'm always posting them in my stories as well and stuff like that. And if I get a cool picture with them, for a while I was just posting myself. And then I was like, wow, people are going to think I'm conceited or something like that. So I started posting more pictures with my friends, because I'm with my friends all the time and I'm always partying and stuff like that. And I document that. But now it's like, it has a certain look and feel. Like it has to look kind of like, I don't want to say planned, but it has to look, the aesthetic has to look right, I guess. Yeah, like I'm not big on like, oh my god, let's redo this so we can make it happen again kind of thing. But if I'm taking pictures and I don't like any of them, I'm okay, sorry guys, I'm not posting it. Sorry, I look like crap or whatever. I'm a very self-conscious person.
So when you're taking those photos, is it like almost always with like a good camera, or do you do some cell phone photos?
No,
as well?
definitely cell phone photos as well. Like I have a good phone for a reason. But sometimes like my friends love using their cameras, and I think camera photos are really, really big now, because you can't even tell who's using a camera or who's using a phone. So that's something cool. I think when you start using a camera, you always have to have a camera, because then the quality is gonna change and it's gonna look different on your page. But if I had it my way, I would rather have camera pics, depending. It just, I don't like my pictures to look super like posy or like super like like I'm trying to model, like that I'm not trying to model kind of thing, you know?
So do you ever go out and do photo shoots and stuff to get content for Instagram, or is it all just?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. This is one of the things that we do is I'll get together, like we'll get people that want to take pictures, because that's not such a foreign thing to ask now, is you'll just get together and it'll be like, hey, do you want to go take pictures? So what I'll probably do is I'll bring a few outfits with me and we'll just go on the town, walking around, finding different walls and backgrounds and streets and whatever, and we'll change clothes right there, like, hey, nobody look, and then just take some pictures. So you're kind of like creating a bank of content for myself, like for yourself to post, because you're not taking pictures every single day. Well, I mean, everybody takes pictures every day now, but it's like you want to be able to post something every day to stay relevant and current, even though I personally don't post every single day now, but I'll put like stories almost every day. Yeah.
So how often would you say you kind of go out and do those photo shoots?
I haven't done them in a long time, to be honest. Like I don't have the time, but now with school done, I'll probably be definitely getting back out there and whatnot. So
yeah.
A lot of people are like, oh, let's do a photo shoot. Let's do a shoot. I'm like, yeah, for sure. Let's do it.
Yeah. And you talked about how it took you a while to grow your Instagram to over 10K.
Yeah.
What were some of the things that you did? Like what worked, what didn't work? Like how'd you get to that point?
Well, I'm gonna slut shame myself for a little bit, but a lot of people like shirtless, worked out pics, skin, sex sells, right? So unfortunately, I conformed and I did some, like some shirtless pics, some ones like things in my underwear, and I did put a lot of pictures with a lot of my friends, like that were super pretty, just creating this thing. I'm very fortunate enough that all my friends are actually really pretty. It's not planned, I hope, but yeah, no, I don't know. People just like seem to respond to that, and a lot of them, like I follow, like some people like with high followings won't follow a lot of people, and I follow like I think about 2,000 people, but I actually know those people, and I don't want to be one of those guys. Oh, I'm gonna just unfollow you after you follow me, kind of thing. Like I hate that. I think that's the most like snakish thing to do. But what really worked, I guess, for me was creating the theme of like what I want my Instagram to look like. I started when I started really getting momentum was like when I found like a color scheme that I liked, or the filter. When you find the right filter, all your pictures become that filter, and then it just becomes a thing of like wearing a good outfit. I think people started to look at my like fashion tips and stuff, and I started like traveling. I'm from California, so when it became like, oh, like you're like you have like cool spots in LA, like there's places that everybody would take pictures at. So I was like, hey, I should go take pictures there too. And yeah, that pretty much it. Like that's pretty much it in terms of like that stuff worked for me the most. And I think the reason my engagement is pretty good is because I actually like a lot of people that I follow or that follow me, I follow back, and those are the ones that show me love the most. Mm-hmm. It's not just a lot of randoms kind of thing.
Yeah. So quick sidebar. How'd you end up in Ottawa then if you're from California?
So I came here 2.5, almost 3 years ago. I wanted to go back to school. So I decided, okay, let me get away from all the partying, Vegas every other weekend. Like it was so close, and just kind of buckled down. I chose Ottawa because I was born in Montreal, but I left when I was 9, and then I came. I stayed there most of my life, and then I decided, okay, it's time to buckle down. And I have a lot of family here, so I said, okay, you know what? Let me come here. Let me focus. And for a while, I wasn't really going out. I was just focusing on school. And then one thing led to another. I joined a frat. I joined all these different things, and it was back to my old life. But I had a different mentality. I was like, okay, I'm here for school. Let me get this shit done. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So now I'm here, and I'm here to stay, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And kind of back to Instagram now. What is there anything else you did? Because you took the good photos, the nice outfits, the aesthetic, the theme.
Yeah.
How did people kind of find it? Like, did you use hashtags, or is it just a lot?
Yeah, hashtags for sure. There's like a bank of hashtags that I use, and there's a way that you can put them on there without you know how people will add it to their actual post. So instead of doing that, I post it in a comment, and you put like 5 periods below each other, and then you put the hashtags. So then it's like when you're scrolling, it won't pop up as the whole comment of hashtags, it'll pop up as 3 dots.
Okay.
Yeah, so just a little trick just to make it not seem so desperate, I guess. And yeah, so like, yeah, just hiding your hashtags. But I think I have like 20 hashtags that I have in a bank and that I use.
So you use the same hashtags every
All
photo?
the time, exactly.
Yeah.
There's like some easy ones like Insta pick or pick of the day, blogger, fashion. Like these are the hashtags that have a lot of hits. And so when they have the higher hits, people are always checking those hashtags. Mm-hmm. And some people even follow those hashtags, so your picture will pop up even more.
Yeah. And do you tag a lot of brands in your, not brands, or other accounts in your photo sometimes?
I only tag people if they're in the photo, or if I'm wearing like a certain brand, like I'll tag the brand for sure. Mm-hmm. To be honest, I don't even know if it does anything. But hey, if they see it, I know like members only, like when I tag them, like they'll definitely see it. But it's more of like, I think I had like some kind of Prada jacket on, and I tagged Prada, but didn't hear from them, didn't get a like from them. Yeah. So fuck me, I guess.
Yeah. But I think that one of the important things you said though too is how you follow the 2,000 people, but you know the 2,000 people, and that's just making connections. Again, kind of like the networking thing.
Back to the networking thing, man. Never shy away from your friends. Never let little stuff like social media and likes and follows and all that stuff get in the way of your genuine connections. Mm-hmm. Because at the end, that's all you have when it comes down to it. Yeah.
And then I think I was looking early mid 2017, you had like a spike in follower growth. Do you remember why that was, or if there's anything that you did that kind of popped?
I think there were pictures after that I actually deleted.
Okay.
And that's why it kind of looks dramatic. But I started, I'm trying to remember what picture it's at, but there was a while where I had like a bunch of pictures lined up for maybe a good couple of months. But they were like a version of me that I didn't want people seeing anymore, just because I've kind of changed the way I kind of presented myself and stuff like that. So there was a lot I took out. So I guess if I would have gone back and deleted all of the old ones and kept the ones where I had like high likes, then I guess it wouldn't look so sus. But I liked the pictures that I kept, so I was like, okay, whatever. Like I don't think people are gonna care as much. But no, that's a good question. That's a good So no, nothing really changed. It was just more of like pictures. There were pictures there to fit the timeline, but I deleted them all.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's fair. And you talked about posting once a day to kind of stay top of people's minds, stay current.
Yeah.
Is that something you did at one point in time?
Yes, there was like sometimes, I would post 1 to 2 times a day, and that lasted for a good amount of time. And then I started slowing down because I just got busier. So it became like once a week, 2 times a week. And now it's like if I go to a cool event or something like that. To be honest, I've kind of not fell off the social media wagon, but I don't care as much anymore, because a lot of people, that's their life, and props to you, or if you want to make that your life. But I want to be in the real world, and that's why all my stories are like so frequent, and like I guess more me is they're in my daily life. Like I'm always going out, I'm always at events, I'm always with friends or eating good food or all this stuff, and that's I think where my social media page has taken a turn for is more stories versus images.
Yeah, and your story use is pretty much just like in the moment, whatever you want.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Do you ever like location tag or hashtag anything so people see it? Yeah.
Yes. Always do the geo tag. Always tag your friends, because then they get mad when you don't tag them.
Yeah.
So definitely always tag, and then hey, I think it grows your like visibility of your story as well to other people.
Mm-hmm. And so now you talked about slowing down with your posts. How often do you post now? Just kind of
honestly, it's like if there's a special event that happens or whatever, and I can get a good picture, sure. Or if I actually plan to go and take pictures, I'd say maybe once a month, if that.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely lower, but my stories are like almost every day or almost all weekends, like all the fun stuff. But another tip I could actually give is you can actually use more hashtags in your stories to increase visibility, and then all you have to do is just like camouflage them so you can hide them in plain sight. It's just nobody sees it, and you're still garnishing that exposure.
Yeah, because I think you can like use the color dropper or
Exactly.
whatever.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's awesome. And then so when you were posting every day and kind of really going at it, was there a specific time of day you would kind of aim for?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So there was always like the 8 o'clock, 8 to 9 a.m. That's a really good time. I was like, wow, people are awake at this time. It's usually people are waking up, but they're still in bed looking at their phones. And like the 7, 8 o'clock time is when I usually post as well.
7, 8 o'clock at night?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
But a weird thing is I had to cater more to my California followers, not my Canada followers, because a lot of my following is from California. So I would do the time difference. So I'd probably post 10, 11 here and get the people at that time over there. Now that I've made a lot more friends here, or not a lot more, but just a lot of friends here, I kind of do it in between just so everybody can kind of see this stuff and get those likes and comments.
Yeah. And I mean, that 10, 11 o'clock time probably worked for Ottawa too, because people are probably starting to get, depending, like if you have school and stuff, getting ready for bed maybe around that time.
Yeah. It's hit or miss, but yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's very fair. And then was there a day of the week that you would aim for? I know you're doing every day for a while, but is there...
No, I mean like Fridays, I guess lunchtime too. Sorry, that's another one. But no particular day in mind. I find it's kind of hard to read now because everybody's always on their phones. It's just a matter of when you catch them, kind of thing. But I wouldn't say I have a special day that I post or anything.
No, just kind
of whenever. To be honest,
that's fair. When you're making your content, is there any helpful apps that you would use? Like
no, see,
never?
I don't really do the Facetune thing. I think I use one thing sometimes. It's similar to Facetune, but it's only like I don't do the whole face or I don't do all that. I just like sometimes like my eyes look really, really tired. So I'll just get the under eye there a little bit. But other than that, no, like you can, and to edit your photos, like color wise and stuff, I'd use the photo app on iPhones, and there's actually a decent amount of tools that you can use just in your photo app. So I don't really use any other apps for editing my pictures or stuff.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah. And do you ever use any stuff for like feedback or anything like analytic stuff, or just all within Instagram?
Yeah. So my account is set up as a business account, so you can see who checks out your stuff, the engagement, the impressions, who clicked on this, who clicked on that. Because at the end of the day, Instagram has become my tool, like business tool, and it's how I get my events out there. It's how I get like publicity for all events that I put together, or like causes that I'm close to, or stuff like that. So yeah.
That's fair. So is there a plan to kind of start picking it back up again? Because you said school's kind of tapering off. So
absolutely, man. Yeah, I definitely want to get back into it. I feel like part of me has just become really self-conscious, and I just like I'm like, sometimes I like the way I look, sometimes I don't like the way I look. But at the end of the day, man, like, who cares? Like, hey, I find like everybody gasses me up so much. Like, there's no reason for me to feel that way, and nobody ever should. Just be you, own it. Like, the whole self-love thing is a big thing that's out there, and it's extremely important, because if someone's afraid or like doesn't want to post a picture of themselves, like, we're all beautiful, and if you're not someone's type, then you're someone else's type. You're always someone's type. You just don't know who they are.
Man, I like that. It's awesome. One thing I was going to ask you about was the follower ratio, but that's not really something you care about, eh? Like the...
not so much. I mean, when I was younger, I was like, oh shit, I have like I'm following a lot of people, and it's like a little close. Or actually, for a time, I didn't want to get over 1,000. I didn't want to follow more than 1,000 people. But then I'm like, who the hell am I? Like this is what people don't like about like influencers and stuff like that. They try to finesse, or they try to like be fake, or just like present this persona that they're too cool, and like they only follow a certain amount of people. But like that's so messed up. And I think that it's almost like you're saying you're embarrassed of your friends and who you follow and stuff like that. So no, I definitely don't care about the ratio anymore. I think I have a decent gap anyway, if anyone's checking, but yeah, no, I definitely always shoot the follow for my friends and stuff like that.
Yeah. And so you were talking about potentially like starting to go back in Instagram a little bit and start doing it again. What would you do if you woke up tomorrow with 0 followers and 0 photos? Like, what would you do? Where would you start to kind of start growing again and getting content back out there?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, first of all, I'd probably take a break. I like, because at the end of the day, man, it's extremely hard to garnish organic engagement and followers now, because everybody, like I said, everybody's doing the same thing. And I don't know, maybe I would probably specialize my page to more, maybe more event based, maybe more like of a socialite. Like I kind of like, people say like I'm a socialite, so I kind of like post those event photos and stuff like that. But I think maybe just taking a little more time. I feel like I could have gotten more pictures if I wanted to at things, and I just didn't care for it anymore. So maybe just caring a little more and just taking a little extra time to actually take a photo with the thought of posting. I think that's what I would probably do differently. And I really admire some of the pages that have like one consistent color scheme throughout the whole thing. I don't know how the hell they do it. I don't know what app they're using, but like I would love to learn how to do that and pick that up for sure.
Yeah. Do you think there's a plan to start doing that, like transition your Instagram more to the nightlife scene and the socialite scene? And
I think so. I think that's kind of where I'm headed business wise. So just as like my outside of government life, but it's all about doing it in a way that speaks to me. And I think my page is definitely a representation of me. I don't think I know people will, there's a big conspiracy, or not conspiracy, just like this notion or this stigma that people only post the good, which is true. I personally, I do post the good, but I think they're all representations of me and what I'm about, kind of thing. I applaud the people that just put the real them all the time, everything. Personally, I think we overshare as well. That's another thing. But props to you for being so honest with the world and not trying to, I guess, show the perfect side of you all the time, I guess.
Is there ever a thought to do collabs, not with like brands, but with other influencers in the area or anything like that?
Oh, yeah, definitely. We've I've had some messages like, hey, like, would love to shoot you kind of thing, or would like to take pictures with you. I think it's really cool. It's like kind of like a little community that people, that's like in the air, and people want to, like, if you meet someone and you have a bunch of followers and you're like, oh, you have a bunch of followers too, like it's so childish, but it's like, hey, like there's some kind of common ground there and unspoken little partnership that can happen, and we do it. It's fun. It's a lot of fun, and you get to really know people and like understand their craft and what they do. So it's pretty cool.
And a new question I started asking people is, who's the most famous person that follows you? But I'm assuming it would be Jamie and Elijah, or
they're one of. I have a few other friends that are really up there. Like some of my friends from California, they have a lot of followers as well. But yeah, I guess I'd say Jamie and Elijah for the most part, and yeah, some of my friends back home.
Yeah. Do you want to name anyone back home, or you don't have to? It's just curiosity.
I guess. Oh my God, who is it? Like Jonathan and Dimitri. They're a couple, and they have a really, really cool page and some really sick outfits and witty captions. Like that's a fun thing as well. There's the whole caption art now. They would probably be. They have like 30-40K.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. But it's like a lot of followers that just like really like them or just really think they're hot, kind of thing.
Yeah. So with other social media platforms, you're not really on much else. Like Instagram's your main one, right?
Instagram's my main one. Facebook, I'll post like a life update. Like I'll do a lot of life updates and promotion for events and stuff on Facebook. Twitter, I'm not a fan of. I think it's just useless now. It just more acts as like news updates, if anything. Snapchat, I don't like to use Snapchat because I already use Instagram. It's like it doesn't make sense for me to use two apps, and I see all my friends using both. I'm like, might want to filter that out, guys. But,
yeah, I don't even check my Snapchat stories anymore. Like it's not even a thought.
It's not even a thought, man. Exactly. Like, no, why would you have two apps that do the exact same thing? Like just like to have a best friend rating or something like that. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, I think because like I use it very sparingly now, and I think like the last time I even checked it, I don't even have a best friend. I just have recents on it now.
Yeah,
like it's that
just
little.
Recents,
like
exactly. I don't have a streak with anybody. I should delete it, to be honest. The only reason I don't is because I have some group messages in there.
Yeah,
and I'm like, okay, I'll check occasionally, but you don't see me responding with like my face or half my face in it, or like me looking dumb. Like you know?
And then with your but back to Facebook, that's just like your personal page. Like you don't have like a brand page or anything.
No, I don't. Like I'm not that cool.
Yeah, that's fair. So what's kind of like your goal with Instagram then for 2019?
For 2019, honestly, I might even just start a new, like just delete all my pictures
Mm-hmm.
and maybe start fresh. That'd be kind of cool. And go from there. Or actually, that's a good idea.
Hey, there you go.
That and really cater it to all aspects of my life now, and just keep it fun and cool and just real at all times.
Yeah. So if you were to, if you do decide to like make that call and delete all your photos, would you focus more so on like having those really crispy, good photos? Or would you kind of,
definitely the crispy photos, definitely the color scheme, and really showcasing a lot of my fun out. Like people look to me for fashion, and they always expect a good look from me, and I don't even post half of them, which sucks. So I think really letting the people see what brings me joy and like express like the way I express myself. Yeah.
So this question I usually ask people, what do you hope people take away from your content? But in the context of this conversation, it can be either your content now or what do you hope they'll take away if you decide to kind of switch up your content?
I think what the biggest things I kind of stand for is work hard, play hard. You can work your ass off. You can work in government and still have fun. You can, like, it's okay to be out all the time, because to me every party is a networking opportunity. Every dinner, every birthday, it's like, oh, you have too many birthdays for people. Well, I was okay, but like I go support, and like it's reciprocated in so many ways. And then I think just being true to yourself, that's a big one. And just have fun with your life. And just don't take it too seriously.
Yeah, that's fair. And then so this question, not necessarily social media specific, but what's next for you?
Next for me, now that I'm done with school, is to really focus on the events that I like to throw and plan. Like collaborating with other like people, other promoters, really get excited to think of some really cool looks for Jamie and Elijah, and figure out if I want to stay in government or not. But it's such a good cushion, and I enjoy my team and I love my job as of now. So why leave if it's something good? But I think down the line, the idea of opening my own club might be on the table, or I'm very big on having multiple avenues of income. So the whole property game, like I want to get into that with some people and just buy a property and rent it out. So all these things are like for me personally. But in terms of social media, just maybe being more present. That'd be a big one. Being more present and get the aesthetic that I want, and collaborate more. I think collaborating more with other influencers would be really cool. Yeah.
That's awesome. So do you have time for a Q&A kind of before we leave? Like I do basically social media for the first half, and then, or for the more than first half, and then there's some random questions that don't really fit into the rest of the interview.
Yeah, sure, man.
Yeah?
Absolutely.
So the first one's, what are you binging right now on Netflix?
Jeez, Mad Men.
Yeah?
Mad Men is what I'm binging, and I want to start Outlander as well on Netflix.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Really good show.
Yeah. What's your favorite app that's not Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter?
Ooh, that's a good one, actually. Let me check my phone.
Yeah, people always have to check.
Uber Eats. No, I'm just kidding. To be honest, man, I don't really use too many other apps. Is that bad?
No.
My text message app is the one I use the most.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Instagrammers, who are some people that you follow that you think other people should check out?
That other people should check out? That's a good one. To be honest, man, all of my friends, because they're all doing amazing things in life, and like they're really working for great causes. Like a lot of my the university like students that I know and in the Greek community, like getting rid of that stigma that frats and sororities are all about partying. Like we're doing so much more than that. We're doing like philanthropy, and like we're doing big things, and people just want to judge us for being party animals, but that's only 10% of it. You know what I mean? That'd be a big one. But yeah, follow who makes you happy, or who makes you want to be the better version of yourself. If you even want to be a better version of yourself, or if you're good in where you are, man, then just do you. That's
That's awesome. Do you watch YouTube? And if so, who do you kind of watch?
No, man. Can you believe that? Like people are on this like YouTuber binge, and I haven't gotten there yet. Like I think I started. My roommates watch David Dobrik.
Okay.
So he's a big one, and I'll watch it with them sometimes if it's on. I think I'm scared to get into that because I don't want to pick up more hobbies or like habits that keep me looking at a screen for so much longer than I already do. Like the app, there's an app it's called Screen Time on your iPhones now, or it's in your settings. It'll tell you how much screen time you have. I had a screen time of like 10 hours.
That's crazy.
That's disgusting. Like either that, like I need to get out more and just not document so much, or just live in the world and not document it. That's a big one.
One thing actually that you keep saying document, I kind of want to ask where that comes from, because there's a saying that I hear a lot. It's document, don't create. So like, don't worry about creating content, just document the moment that you're in.
Yeah, document. So it's like, say for example, if I'm at an event, I'm not necessarily putting it on the selfie camera and like putting it on me and my friends talking. I'm documenting and showing where I am, what vibe I'm in, the ambiance that I'm in, and what people are missing out on. I think a big thing that influencers do is they appeal to people's FOMO, and that's what we do. Is we post things with kind of like the knowledge that people are gonna be like, wow, what does this guy do, or like why am I missing out? Why am I not there? And it's just kind of feed it into like me promoting and stuff like that. I promote events. I guess I'm trying to promote life in Ottawa or wherever I am.
That's cool. Okay, sorry. Back to the Q&A there. Next question is music that you're listening to right now.
Music. I'm a big hip hop and R&B guy. EDM, even country. I can't do the music with like the screaming. No, not my thing. But like some of my favorite artists right now are like Rita Ora. Rita Ora has a good album right now. Jamie and Elijah, I guess, obviously. Normani and Khalid, they're really doing big things. I'm really getting into Latin pop as well, like Latin music, Latin beats. And Chainsmokers are a really good one. Yeah, kind of like that.
That's fair. Do you have any books that you'd recommend?
Oh man, the Bible. I'm just kidding. To be honest, man, it's sad. I haven't picked up a book in like so long. I used to read, and then I just got busy or lazy. That also might be a goal for 2019 is read more. Like I find like my vocab is just not what it used to be. I'm getting dumber, so I need to fix that for sure.
I think it's a knock on the school system if you just finished it. You feel like you're getting dumber. But
because you know what, man, like we're not really focused on the learning. We're focused on getting the assignment done. I'm fortunate that I really enjoyed my program, Communications and Media Studies. They have a great program at Carleton, but to go off that, all the stuff that I learned was very relevant and current, especially to my own life, especially to social media and advertising and PR and marketing. So it was easy to follow versus some people, they're just like, well, get me out of here. Like, I just want to get my degree and get out.
Yeah. That's fair. Do you listen to podcasts at all?
A little bit, actually. And it's one of our requirements in my program was to listen to more podcasts.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. TED Talk, like that's a really good one. I guess I'm going to be listening to yours now too.
Hey, there you go. But any other ones that you recommend, or just kind of TED Talk one's a big one with you?
TED Talk is a good one. I like. There's a pastor I listen to. His name is Joel Osteen. Like a lot of people don't know this about me, but I'm kind of religious. It's something that I hold like deep within. Like it's my moral compass. It's like all that stuff for me. And I like to give credit where it's due, and I always feel like God's like kind of in there for me. So
yeah. I've heard of Joel Osteen. I know like
great guy, very motivational.
My Nana watches him. I think every single Sunday. Like he's on. That's where I would like kind of reference him from. It's just my Nana used to watch him all the time when I was growing up. Like
it just makes you feel good.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like not thinking about the shit that's happening in the world and not trying to make you feel like a shitty person, kind of thing. Which I think is why people like him a lot, because he keeps it light and he keeps it right.
Yeah. Restaurants in Ottawa that you'd recommend, like a hidden gem or something, or
I'm a fat ass man. I love to eat. Riviera is really, really good. Joey's Happy Hour. Oh my God, you'll catch me there whenever and every day. Wine Wednesdays we do there. The Works is really good. I'm a big burger guy. 10 Sushi is one of my, I'm so drunk, I need to eat this the next day, guilty pleasure. But Yeah, they overfeed. We overeat and order for sure. I'm actually still being exposed to a lot of restaurants here. So if you have any recommendations for me, that would be awesome.
I recently went to, have you heard of Maddie? It's on Preston.
I've heard of Maddie.
I went there for breakfast / like brunch a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
They had this like lobster grilled cheese thing.
Oh,
it was just like something I never thought of. It was so good.
Oh shit, that sounds so good. Basil is actually really, really good.
Yeah.
In Nordstrom, that restaurant that they have on the second floor.
Oh yeah.
Exquisite.
I've never been in there before. Like I've been into Nordstrom, but never into that.
Try it, man.
Yeah.
It's delicious.
Definitely check that out.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Next one. Do you have any morning and night routines, like consistent ones that you follow?
Morning and night. I shower twice a day. I actually no. Depends. Usually, sometimes twice a day.
Mm-hmm.
Other rituals? No, man. To be honest, I like to sleep a lot, and if I don't get enough of it, I'm late on things. But I guess, when I wake up, like I check my phone, which is an awful habit, and I need to get out of that. But no, to be honest, no. I pray before I go to bed. That's about it.
Yeah. That's awesome. So do you know who Gary Vaynerchuk is?
Who?
Gary Vaynerchuk.
I do not.
He's like a big businessman, does a lot of motivational stuff. But he has a podcast, and one of the questions he asks is, what are you obsessed with? But not from like a high level, from a very nitty gritty. Like, I just bought this new sweater. It's so comfy. I'm obsessed with my sweater. Like something just random like that.
Yeah. Am I obsessed with something
right
now? I just bought a new Champion sweater. It's highlighter yellow.
I think I saw that on your story.
Yeah. Oh man, so nice. Like all the eyes, everybody just looks to you. Like that is a nice sweater, and it's so comfy, and I think it's a little higher end than the regular ones.
Okay.
I have a bunch of Champion sweaters now because that's suddenly cool. But yeah, definitely I'm obsessed with that, and I'm just obsessed with fashion in general.
I think Champion's transition from like almost like a Walmart brand to high fashion is just unreal.
Insane.
And have you been like, I don't know, like Forever 21? I think they're trying to do that with Wilson. I think it's like a similar brand to Champion.
Wilson, that's a while back.
Yeah, because I popped into Forever, I think it was Forever 21 a little while ago, and they had like a whole Wilson section dedicated, and I was like, I feel like they're trying to do what Champion did, and I don't think it's working quite as well. But
Wilson, the tennis company, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good luck. But who knows?
Yeah.
They just need some person to wear it. And like Kylie Jenner, Kanye West, like those are the ones that really create trends. It's awful.
Yeah, that's all it takes though. It's
yeah,
crazy.
that is all it takes. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. 3 items on your bucket list.
Oh, skydive, find a boyfriend, and then open my own club. Yeah, that's on the bucket list for sure. Have to do that at some point or another, and yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man.
So you're going to dinner. You can take 3 people. They can be dead or alive.
Shit.
Who would you take with you? You can take anybody.
I would take my mom. My mom passed away when I was 8, so I would definitely like to take her to dinner with the me now, and really get to know her there again, and have some alone time with her. But also, probably my best friends, I guess, from home, from California and from here. I would love them to all meet. Sorry, I can't limit it to 3 because I know way too many people, and they'd be very upset if I chose 3 only.
Yeah.
But yeah, be done.
That's fair. So what's the best advice you've ever gotten, and if you can remember, from who?
I think it was actually your network. Your net worth is as big as your network or something like that. I don't remember who said it to me. I think I actually came up with it, but I'm sure I heard it somewhere.
Yeah.
Or like took a version of what I heard and whatnot. But I've had many mentors in my time that kind of guided me, like when I was much younger, and I was always the type to hang out with older crowds just because I wanted to be influenced by them and to be around people who worked hard, so I could hang out with them, kind of thing. And that pushed me to really, like,
yeah. What's something about you that you don't think people would expect?
I'm kind of a no, people know I'm a dork. That's tough, man. I'm very open book. Very open book. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We can skip it. We can come back to it if you want to, though.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. So what's a question that this is a weird one to ask. It's like, what's a question you don't know the answer to that you would like want to know the answer to? almost like a question of the day type thing. Like what's something you want to know?
Sure. How much money is really in Kylie Jenner's account?
Yeah. That's a good one. Okay. So second last question.
Yeah.
What's something that everybody should know that you think that's important that everyone should know?
Back to the whole, like, your network is your net worth. I really, really like emphasize that so much because people have been asking me so much, JJ, what are you doing? Like, how are you doing all these different things? And it's literally because I take the time to network, and it really, it's tiring. It's very, you just want to stay home sometimes. But if you really put in the effort, and if you really put yourself out there, and be supportive to everybody, like it'll come back tenfold. For sure.
How were you able to do that though, with balancing like bartending, event planning, school, and everything?
Man, it was really, really tiring. Like it was one of those things where sometimes I would just go, show face, say happy birthday, buy them a shot, and leave. Like like I didn't sleep a lot. Like I definitely lacked on the sleep end, but it was 100% worth it.
Yeah.
100% worth it.
That's fair. So last question is just coming back to that, something about you people wouldn't expect. If you really can't think of something, we can skip it though.
Okay. People wouldn't expect. I've never been in a relationship.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, never been in a relationship. I tell you that, and then people are like, what are you talking about? Like, liar? Like, no.
Yeah.
I've never been in a relationship.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Call me undateable.
I just want to give you the floor, man. Where can the people find you? Like, plug everything you got right now. If you got an event coming up or anything.
Oh yeah, man. Thank you. To be honest, like, just follow me on Instagram, I guess. Jason Estefanous. I am planning a fuck finals after finals party. It's going to be one of those things where everybody who's just over finals and over all that this semester was one of the hardest things come through. It's going to be at Room 104. And you can expect a lot more events happening in 2019.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to make sure everything is linked in the show notes for this episode.
I appreciate it.
And I just want to thank you for coming on this episode of the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me, man. I appreciate it. It was fun.
It's my pleasure. And I just want to thank everybody for listening to this episode. Make sure you go follow Jason on Instagram. As I said, I will definitely link everything in the show notes down below. Thank you once again for listening, everybody. We'll talk soon.
Thank you once again for listening to this episode of My Social Life. As always, whether you've listened to the entire way through or you've only listened to bits and pieces, I really appreciate you taking the time to check this out. If you enjoyed it, feel free to leave us a rating and a review. The more ratings and reviews we get, the more that it will be promoted and other people will find the podcast, and we're going to grow the community that we're developing here. And if you guys could do me a big favor, go check out Jason on Instagram. Again, he's at Jason Estefanous. I will link it in the show notes down below. And if you want to follow me, you totally can. I am at the Jacob Kelly on Instagram and Twitter. And on my Instagram, I do a daily vlog on my story, just kind of giving you behind the scenes access to me, to the podcast, to my job. I work in professional sports, so it's kind of cool. I try to keep it up to date with content every single day. And also, guys, follow the podcast on Instagram. You can find it at @mysocialpod. I will post snippets from the podcast. I usually post it with video, but we had an issue with video this time, so you won't be able to see our beautiful faces, unfortunately. But I pull out some key points from the podcast for you guys to listen to there. And also, speaking of My Social Pod Instagram, guys, screenshot that you're listening to this episode, post it to your story, tag at My Social Pod, and I will share it. And I'll even send you guys a message. I just like to see the people that are listening in the community that we're growing here. But thank you once again for listening to this episode. We'll talk soon.